You're talking about displays. Let's kick into the hundreds and thousands of displays that they announced for CES.
I just started to get tired because of how of how much display news.
All right, which? I mean, obviously.
What are my favorites? Should I do
not in order? Not in order of best to worst, but like just go through some of the favorites. Like, what are the cool stuff that I should be drooling over? Because I need a new display, by the way.
Okay, you need a new display. Do you want a super ultra wide? Because everyone's releasing super ultra wides.
I've seen them. Yeah, these are the.
Everyone is coming out with one.
Yeah. They're 49-inch ones, right?
Yeah, all 40 inch.
QHD.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 49 inch or
Yeah, I saw all those. Yeah, and I'm like, maybe I need to go for that because I've been rocking like the 34-inch ultra wides for a while. You know, like 34. The 21 by 9. These are all 32
glorious.
by 9.
They're glorious. Yeah, these
I
are
love
32.
the 21 by 9. Well, maybe it's time to upgrade.
I've got a super ultra wide from ASUS that needs to be reviewed. Stay tuned for that. I'll give you an update on the podcast when that review is live. But that is meant to be a really good one. I haven't opened it yet though because holidays.
How big is the box?
It's so big. You should have seen the bloke try to drop it off. He's like walking down the driveway. This 49 inch. Anyway, okay. CES announcements. Let's start with Dell. So this is a world's first. There's a lot of world's first. Just as a disclaimer, world's first 40-inch 5K monitor certified for 5-star eye comfort unveiled at CES 2024.
This is not really gaming, is it?
This is not. This
is like if you're editing the latest movie or something.
Yeah, I thought.
But even so, like that means it'll be good for gaming.
Oh, it will look glorious. It only has 120 hertz refresh rate, but 34-inch IPS black panel. 3440 by 1440 resolution, obviously. 100% of the sRGB, 99% of the DCI-P3 gamuts, and Thunderbolt 4 with 90 watts of power delivery. Now, what I've been seeing across the board with all of these new OLED displays.
Wait, that's the second one. The first one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, that's the 40. Yeah, my bad. I read the wrong one.
Ultra sharp 40-inch curve.
Sorry. So all of those specs there.
1440 doesn't sound too.
Yeah, all of those specs there were for the 34-inch model. I apologize. So the 40-inch ultra sharp 40 curved Thunderbolt hub monitor, or the U4025QW, as Dell writes, is an IPS black panel. Technology for improved color contrast, 5120 by 2160 resolution, 99% of the DCI-P3 color space, 5-star TUV. And I don't know, I haven't seen this certification before. Do you know anything about this eye comfort certification?
I don't know that particular name, but
it's not something I'm familiar with.
But they're good to have because it's all about flickering and things like that. So like the way because this is IPS, right? So the way backlighting works and like strobing and things like that, there's imperceptible flickering on all IPS panels, and like a strobing effect that you don't see, basically, and it can causes strain on your eyes whether you see it or not. So I don't know about this specific certification, but like it might have a mode or something like that. So like if you're working, like you put it in that mode, and basically it'll just be like reading a newspaper or something like that instead of like being in front of a screen. So like you won't be like, your eyes won't be like noticeably tired.
Oh, yeah, that is good to have. The more certifications you have, the better. This display also comes with Thunderbolt 4 connection for up to 140 watts of power delivery.
That's nuts. I would love this monitor.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Because we've both got 4090s thanks to NVIDIA and
thank you, NVIDIA.
Running ultra wide 4K.
Yeah.
That's what you need for it, basically.
100%. Look, this is 5K long, 4K up. I think this would push the 4090. I don't know what game. I would love to play like Age of Empires 4 or something on this. That obviously wouldn't push it, but some game or Doom Eternal would be wicked on one of these. That would be awesome.
Yeah. You'd be able to push hundreds of FPS because Doom Eternal is so well optimized.
Yeah. And then I've already read the specs for the next one. So that's the two ultra sharps from Dell. We should move on.
What about gaming? Give us a gaming one.
We'll go for gaming. Okay. MSI is crapping out QD OLED displays. They have their entire lineup is now QD OLED displays. And we're just going to highlight a few of them. These are some of my favorites. Again, we have another 49-inch 5120. Oh, but this one's 5120 by 1440. Yeah, that's... Oh, because they've smashed the refresh rate.
Yeah, so basically it's like the 34-inch one, like the normal ones, but extended to, so it's actually like a dual... It's like basically like dual 1440p monitors instead of like 1.6.
Yeah, I saw
so
this.
You will still need a beefy GPU to run it.
Yeah, I saw this tech at the Samsung event. For those that have been following along with the podcast, I went to a Samsung event. I don't know, I think it was in October or something like that. They were showcasing all of their new displays, and some of the features was being able to split the display. So you could have a 4K display and split it into like two 1440p's or whatever, and have the same monitor going out to two separate sources, which was really cool. If you were like, say, I don't know, say you own this monitor, right? And then you were playing Smash Bros on the Nintendo Switch, but you also were live streaming it, but you wanted to use one display. So then you could half it, put Smash Bros here, then display in, and then put your Windows on the other side. So it's a very specific use case. I don't think anyone's going to buy the monitor specifically for that. I don't know. Maybe I'm like left.
Some of these specs are so good. 144 hertz.
For what one?
But no, for the 49-inch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 49-inch. Yeah, 0.03 millisecond response time is glorious.
Yeah, that's OLED power.
That's so good.
It's got a fanless design, so graphene film with a custom heatsink. So
it'd be so thin.
There's no need. It won't be making
thin.
Noise. Like
No.
So the very first like monitor that I got that was like super high end was like a 4K 27-inch, which was HDR 1000. Right? It was like one of the very first G-Sync Ultimate ones to test.
Wow.
And because of it was IPS, right? But because it went to HDR 1000, so if you push it, the brightness was insane, right? Like seeing that level of brightness is just bananas. But because of that, it actually had a like full-on cooling system with a fan. It was louder than my PC when it.
Oh my god! Yeah, wow.
So whenever I see like fanless design, I'm like, all right, yeah, that's good to know because I've experienced if you have to actively cool because the monitor's getting too hot.
Yeah, no, I think they've come a long way since that, and a lot of these, I think all of the ones from CS, they don't have fans. Now I'm just going to do some of my personal favorites.
4K one. Yep.
Yeah, I want that 4K 240 hertz. Oh wait, no, sorry. The 321 URX from MSI is a 32-inch display that features a 240 hertz refresh rate. That's at 4K. Yum. I want 4K 240 hertz 32 inches. That's my favorite. That is my favorite. It's the best display I think for gaming in both FPS and like say open RPGs. Like you can play.
I think that's the one I want too.
Every single title on there, and have an awesome experience. It's big enough for an open world game, and it is also small enough for you to get really immersed in an FPS shooter. And at 240 hertz, like I've got the MSI 32-inch. 4K 160 hertz model, and it's not OLED. So that's essentially the monitor, like the upgraded version that I need. The MSI, I need this monitor. I mean, I'm going to get them all anyway to review, but like just saying, I need it not like when it comes out. I need it now.
Oh, dude, yeah, I like the design of it. Like the back panel looks really cool.
Yeah, MSI have killed it with these announcements.
The design of it, yeah.
And also
the bezel.
The monitors that we're talking about here from MSI, it's a marketing campaign from MSI that if you do purchase one of the three displays, the MPG 49 491CQP or the MPG 321URX or the MPG 271QRX and post a review of it. I think it's in the, what is it? You got to post it on the website and MSI will give you $100 Steam code.
That's pretty cool.
That's not bad. I haven't seen a company do that for a while.
Yeah, like sometimes you get like rebates on like GPUs, like you get like a free game.
Yeah.
Which it goes into the cost. Like if you're getting this monitor for gaming, right? Mm-hmm. You use $100. That's enough to buy like 2 or 3 like AAA games on Steam.
Yeah, if there's a good sale on Steam, which there always is, yeah, you can buy some games with your brand new MSI monitor. I love that. Shout out MSI. Okay, we should quickly go through Acer here. See, look at all of these. Who is buying these super ultra wides, dude?
Oh, which one's this one? This is the
Predator Z57. Who do you know that owns a super ultra wide?
See, I like, you remember when Samsung like came out with theirs? I know somebody who got one, and then a year later or months later, he's like, I got to get rid of it.
I wonder why.
It was just too big. Like, and because it was like too stupid as well. Like, because a lot of games that don't support that aspect ratio.
Yeah, and also, see, this is the display. This is the display, Kosta, that will cream our 4090s. Here we go. Predator Z57. The Goliath of the 4 measures at 57 inches with a resolution of 7680 by 2160. It is dual 4K panels next to each other with a refresh rate of 120 hertz. It has 2304 zone mini LED technology for intense picture quality. Its curve is 1,000.
And
it's 1,000.
Display HDR 1000.
Yeah, and display HDR 1000. 2 HDMI 2.1 ports, 1 HDMI DisplayPort 1.4, and incredible color gamut with 98% covered of the DCI-P3. Absolutely would cream the 4090, I think.
Yeah, like, to be honest, like mini LEDs are pretty good for gaming. Like, even though everybody's going OLED, yeah, like you can't match the OLED's response times and like contrast for like black levels.
Yeah,
like,
and also the width of the display.
But mini LED brightness, right? So like even like the Predator X34, and the Predator X34 is a classic ultra wide. The 34-inch one, that's latest mini LED one. Look here, it's got, yeah, it's like display HDR 1000 again. So that's just going to be insane. If you love like bright, vibrant HDR, then I would go that over an OLED. But
you reckon?
Like, I don't know, like
OLED, baby, OLED. Look at it.
I can live without HDR. Like, I think it's.
I turn it off majority of the time,
but I turn it off pretty much exclusively, just because it's impressive,
it sucks.
but unless something is like designed specifically for, like,
100%.
It's a lot harder to make HDR look good in a cinematography sense than it is non-HDR.
Yeah,
I turn it off.
If a game supports HDR, like say for I'm trying to remember the last game I actually turned it on. Maybe Battlefield 4.
Yeah.
Maybe something like that, where I'm like, I want to get fully immersed in this, and that had quite good HDR, if I'm remembering correctly. I switched it on then because I like running through those buildings, and it's like pitch black, and you see it's just your flashlight when you're running, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I didn't have an OLED display at the time. Did I? I might have had like one of the first OLED gaming monitors from Samsung, and the HDR was only HDR 400, so it was like, I think it was
entry level.
Yeah, it was crap.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Like, that's the thing. Like, I've experienced, like, HDR is like only worth it if you can get basically HDR 1000. To be honest, the 600 spec is good, but the 1000 is like great. Like, so like the 1000 is how I played like one of the more recent Call of Duties, and when like an explosion goes off with fire and like a night scene, it's almost like you feel like
that's
flame.
wicked.
Like, that's like how like bright it like gets.
That's wicked.
Like it is impressive, but like yeah, like I don't think it's like worth enabling it on OLED panels and OLED gaming panels.
Well, we should give some prices because since you're now sold on the Predator Z57, are you ready to shell out 2,500 USD?
There's no way I can fit a 57 inch. I mean, I could. I have like my desk is pretty long.
You would find a way, Costa. If that was given to you as a sample, you would find.
I'm going to sit like this close. See where the camera is. This is how close I sit. So how long am I going to sit that close to like a 57 inch ultra wide? Like,
I don't know. I'm going to probably get a sample of this at one stage. I have no idea where I'm going to put it.
Reach out to him.
Oh yeah, I've got contacts at
it's comically huge.
Yeah, I've got a contact at Acer.
And then just get me the X34 V3.
Yeah. Okay, so we just should rattle off some prices here. The Predator Z57 will be available in all of these monitors that we have just talked about from Acer are available in North America in Q2 2024. So starting at the top, Predator Z57 will be 2,500 USD. Predator X39, 1,500. Predator X34X, 1,300. Predator X34 V3 will be $899.
That's interesting. So the X34 V3 is the mini LED one with 1,000 nit peak HDR brightness, and the X34X is the OLED one with the HDR 400 peak brightness.
I want to get a comparison, but that's probably what the comparison that I'm going to do between those two.
The X will overall look better because it's OLED. But the V3 will be more
value
impressive for HDR and like cinematic gaming in some cases.
I'm gonna have to dive through all of these. I'm gonna be inundated with samples. Okay, moving on to Alienware. We got another 2 world first QD OLED gaming monitors.
Alienware were one of the first to the market with QD OLED, so they're definitely pretty far along in pushing it. Yeah.
Just for the listeners out there, Alienware is Dell's gaming brand.
Yep.
Is that a correct way to put it?
Yeah. They bought Alienware.
Yeah, subsidiary.
Alienware's been around for ages. Yeah. But they're basically Dell's premium gaming brand.
Yep. Okay, so first up, Alienware 32 4K QD OLED gaming monitor, model number AW3225QF. I wish we had a really nice name for gaming monitors instead of me rattling off all these. I know, it's so rough. Anyway, so we got 32-inch 4K QD OLED gaming monitor that comes with Dolby Vision HDR for improved color and contrast. Has 240 hertz refresh rate, 0.03 ms, gray to gray response time, VESA display HDR True Black 400. NVIDIA G-Sync, VESA Adaptive Sync, DCI P3 99% color coverage, 1700 R curvature. And it comes with HDMI 2.1, adjustable stand, 3-year warranty to cover that any potential OLED burn-in.
That's pretty good.
It says Dell states in its press release, world's first 4K QD OLED gaming monitor with Dolby Vision HDR designed for you to see every detail in astounding color and contrast. So is this the world first Dolby Vision?
This is good.
HDR?
As far as I know, yeah. So if you have an LG OLED TV, you've got Dolby Vision HDR. So if you're like watching a 4K movie on Netflix that's Dolby Vision enabled with Dolby Vision HDR, your TV will automatically adjust to that mode, and it looks pretty good. Basically, what it means is that it's a specific calibration for HDR by Dolby Vision, so the content has to support it as well. And there's a lot of games now that do actually support Dolby Vision HDR. That's good. The reason why it's probably a world first is because Alienware need to pay to have that in there.
Right.
So like it's kind of like, THX certification or something like that. You have to pay to have that mode.
So essentially, when you go into these certification, are they agencies or what are they?
It's Dolby Vision. It's Dolby.
Yeah,
Dolby.
So you would send it to the Dolby company, and then they essentially benchmark the display that you have, and then if it passes all tests, they stamp it.
Yeah, if it meets certain specs, then you'll get the calibration for Dolby Vision.
And then you got to pay for their little logo that goes on the thing.
So like the non-HDR version, you would have seen on some TVs called filmmaker mode.
I'm not really familiar.
TVs. So if you're watching a movie that isn't HDR, you switch it on filmmaker mode, and that makes movies look great. Like it makes sure like the colors aren't overly saturated. Like, you know, it gives things like a cinematic, slightly warmer tone, and things like it's like a really good calibration. That's like another licensing thing that's like a consortium of like filmmakers and studios made that mode for calibration mode for TV.
Oh, that's awesome.
So just to make content look better. Because the thing is, at the end of the day, because we all know, like, you know, the worst case scenario is like turning on their TV, watching a movie, or walking in on somebody watching a movie where with motion plus is on, and the colors are saturated.
Yeah, and everything looks arse.
Everything looks like tragic, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, pff. So filmmaker mode is like, well, like, you know, that's a you know, a calibration thing that makes sure the settings are correct. And Dolby Vision HDR is similar for HDR.
That's awesome.
Because HDR is so easy to get wrong as well.
Yeah, it's easy
in terms of like calibrating your TV.
We do have another world's first, according to Dell, is the Alienware 27 360 Hz QD OLED gaming monitor, or AW2725DF, which is a 27-inch QD OLED, 1440p display. That has a 0.03 ms gray-to-gray response time, a stunning 360 Hz refresh rate. I'm so excited to test these 1440p displays at 360 Hz. This is, and 0.03 ms, that is glorious. Like if you're jumping into an Apex or Call of Duty or like these.
Oh, dude.
Perfect.
Definitely test something like Apex because you'll be able to hit that.
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to push it. I'll drop everything to low. I want to see it sitting at 300.
You won't need to on the 4090.
Yeah, it's true. I will max it out. I'm not going to drop things low. Yuck. Ew. Don't drop things low, Costa.
Why would you do that?
Why would you do that? The first thing I do when I open a new game is go straight to settings and hit ultra.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. You just get used to maxing things out.
Listeners that don't have like 4090s or any higher GPU are like shaking their heads right now, like these blokes.
And so they should.
Yeah, they should.
But the thing is, right, like the best value GPUs aren't the 4090s of the world.
And once you go 4090, you don't go back. It's like that other thing.
But it's not like it's not a reasonably priced
thing
to game on.
It's not. So this is, according to Dell, the world's first 360 Hz QD OLED gaming monitor. That is, I don't even know if that's true.
Yeah, I think there's already more.
It has to be. I think I've reviewed one.
Oh, for OLED, maybe not at that because it was 240 hertz. OLED
that's QD.
IPS has gone up to like 480, 500 hertz now.
Oh, we're going to get into that.
Yeah.
There's another one. Okay, so just for prices here, the 32-inch Alienware will start at $1,200 USD. The 27-inch 360 Hz will start at $899. They're available on January 11th. So as of recording, tomorrow.
All right.
Which is pretty cool. Oh, in North America, sorry. For anyone that's in a different region.
Let's do the crazy refresh rate one then.
Okay. Where is it? Refresh rate. Yeah, ASRock. ASRock? Is it ASRock?
ASRock, yeah.
ASRock. So ASRock, this is just bonkers. I'm also got a contact at ASRock, and I think I'm going to be arranging samples for these. We're talking 520 hertz refresh rate. So ASRock has joined the likes of Samsung, LG, and many other companies in teasing what they'll be unveiling at CES. The Taiwanese manufacturer showcased new gaming monitors that can reach up to 520 hertz. The two new gaming monitors are ultra-fast LCD displays, with one reaching a refresh rate of 520 and the other hitting 400. Notably, the 400 hertz variant supports a 1440p resolution, while the 520 hertz variant is 1080p. I would never, ever, ever, ever go out and buy a 520 hertz 1080p monitor.
Unless all you did was play CS Counter-Strike 2.
But even then,
I would go for like 1440,
of
right?
course you would. 520 hertz. Both monitors being released under the ASRock Phantom Gaming brand, and both are 27 inches, officially called the ASRock Phantom Gaming PG27QFW2A. That's the 1440p variant at 400 hertz and is IPS. Then you have the 1080p 520 hertz variant, which is the PG27FFX2A. There isn't further details on these. There isn't a release date. There isn't more specs. There is nothing. As of when I was reporting on this, I haven't looked more.
Yeah, I think 500 hertz gaming monitors. Once you get to that, you're getting into
what are we doing?
Trade-offs.
Like
you're using like TN panels or like specific IPS panels that aren't designed for like.
You're sacrificing quality, like the visual fidelity for speed.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I don't want to knock it completely. Maybe there is gamers out there that want to go out and purchase one. I'm not one. I think
it's exciting.
It's cool in the way where I like to, see the fastest car go drive down a street. You know what I mean? Like, how fast is it? Oh, you got it a little bit quicker this time with the next. Oh, it's even faster. That's cool. Yeah. But I don't want to get in the car.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean? I like watching it.
Yeah, I know. This is like the kind of like just seeing how fast they can push it.
Yeah,
just like you're saying. But to me, like the 360 hertz OLED, that's where you start getting interesting, right? Because like OLED is as close to end game as we're getting for solid, like display quality.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get like, because what happens is that people say like, oh, you can't tell the difference with the higher the refresh rates. And once you get past a certain amount, it is very, very difficult. But like what happens is once you get to like multiple hundreds, like 300, 500, 600, even up to 1,000, that's where like motion clarity hits like a new level. And it's kind of like, well, NVIDIA announced like a new G-Sync thing, but it requires a chip and it's going to be exclusive to, I think, an ASUS monitor. It's called G-Sync Pulsar. And basically, it'll be available on monitors that go up to like about this 360 hertz or whatever. But with that G-Sync Pulsar mode, it does some like magic that basically makes the clarity look like 1,000 hertz display. So like if something's moving like really fast past the screen, right?
Wow.
They show like a screenshot, like you see, like even on like a 400 hertz display or whatever it is, like it's blurry.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But with Pulsar, it's like
completely cleaned up.
It's cleaned up. It's like 10 times more detail. And that's because once you get past a certain point of like motion clarity of getting at 1,000 hertz is when fast moving objects are really like you can really like they don't become blurry and stuff like that. And that's kind of like end game. That's kind of like probably where all displays will end up. Once you get to that point, then there's no point going any higher.
Hopefully I can test that monitor you're talking about because that sounds awesome.
Even though it kind of like sounds like overkill, I'll add it to the notes. So it's G-Sync Pulsar. They announced it at CES. So it sounded really cool and they showed a couple of demos, but then I'm like, wow. And then at the bottom it says the first G-Sync Pulsar display from ASUS is launching later this year. And it's like, okay. Yeah. So it requires special hardware. So it's a G-Sync chip. But that's just to say that, like, even though 500 hertz sounds silly or 300 hertz, or like, why would you need more than 120 hertz display? And sure, like for most people, you don't really, but there is like an argument for going higher and higher and higher. There is an argument for a 1,000 hertz OLED panel when we get to that point. Because the motion will just look better.
Incredible. It'll be incredible and it won't be as messy.
You might need like a fancy like high frame rate camera just to capture the
yeah.
But there will be a difference.
Let's go to HP here. More monitors. We'll promise you we'll get off the monitors soon. We've got the Omen Transcend 32. It's just a tip for anyone out there that is shopping for gaming monitors. I might have said this before. If you look at the model number and it says, I don't know, we'll go back to the last one. Hold on. This is just for the consumers out there. Okay, so the ASRock Phantom Gaming, the 1440p variant, and is 27 inches. Its model number is PG27QFW2A. Now, I look at that and see 27 and go, it's 27 inches.
Yep.
That's correct, right?
The numbers correlate to the size.
The size of the monitor. So that is just a little bit of a hot tip out there because monitor names, gaming monitor, or any monitor naming stinks.
You kind of like have to decipher them. After like reading so many of the MSI ones, you can now like kind of like decipher what they are.
Yeah, but just looking at, I think it's typically the first numbers that you see. Like in the name, it's typically the revealing the size of it. Anyway, let's go to HP. So now we've got the HP Transcend 32, and shocker, it is a 32-inch QD OLED gaming monitor. It is 3840 4K UHD,
240 hertz again.
240
These might be
hertz.
the monitors to get. Yeah, I think there's going to be a few of these coming. I want a 4K 32-inch 240 hertz display.
Of course you do, Costa. That's exactly what you want. It's exactly what you want. And you want zero. See, this is different. I don't know if this was a typo, but instead of going 0.03 ms, they went 0.3 ms response time.
It's a typo, for sure. If it's
think
OLED, that has to be a typo.
But I mean, it's in their press release. So I wrote it as is because I didn't want to.
You can only report as is, but it has to be a typo.
Yeah, I thought so. I'm like, what? 0.3 of a second? Like,
because the whole point of
really?
QD OLED response times is that they're basically non-existent. So it's like 0.03 milliseconds. To go to 0.3, which is still...
That's a jump, and it's strange. I don't think... I looked at it and I was like, this has to be a typo. Anyway, 99% of the DCI P3 color coverage, VESA display, HDR True Black 400, peak brightness of up to 1000 nits. HP is
KVM.
Yes, KVM
inputs built on.
Yep.
Yeah.
KVM switch for seamlessly switching between devices, drag and drop files across devices as well. You were going to say, sorry.
This is what I need for like benchmarking. So
Absolutely,
I can just switch between like Thingo and then work PC, benchmark PC, just go bang, bang,
and
bang,
you're using the
KVM.
same mouse on the same
display, same keyboard and mouse, and just switch between them.
Yeah, I think that's a very underutilized feature for people that have multiple systems in the same room.
Yep.
And obviously that is a small percentage of people compared to the total PC users, but for creators,
connect a laptop to it.
A laptop. People that are a bit more tech savvy, that's something that you should definitely look into if you are looking to buy.
Connect your laptop for work.
Absolutely.
Same display, keyboard, mouse.
100%.
Unplug it, or switch to your gaming PC to play games.
Yep. Beautiful. Or just buy an 8K dual 4K. Dual 4K.
The 57-inch?
Yeah, the 57-inch, and then just split
just
it down the center.
at the same time,
Yeah.
That's insane.
That is insane. It's crazy. HP states on its website that the Omen Transcend 32 is the world's first gaming monitor with independent switchable USB ports, while also being the world's first OLED gaming monitor with 140 watt USB-C power delivery. Yeah, lots of world's firsts, Costa. Lots of world's firsts.
So many world's first.
Yeah. Furthermore, HP writes that VESA display HDR True Black 400 provides up to 50x greater dynamic range and 4x improvement in rise time compared to HDR 1000. As for price and release, HP writes the Omen Transcend 32 gaming monitor is expected to be available later this year. I'm pretty sure
they do look stylish. What
was that? Sorry?
They do look stylish.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they look pretty cool. I love white. Like my PC case is white.
Yeah, that's what I was all in, and then the 4070 Super in black came, and I was like, okay,
wait,
time to hang up the white.
Time to hang up.
Go back to black.
I'll just quickly do LG. I'll just do quickly LG here. Sorry, 27-inch 1440p 480 hertz OLED gaming monitor. Showcased at CES. They call it the new era of OLEDs. 480 hertz, 0.03 ms response time.
Wow, 480 hertz OLED.
it's just bonkers. I just wanted to touch on that.
That's using LG have a different OLED technology. They don't use QD OLED.
Yeah.
So if you don't see QD OLED, it's LG's version, which isn't typically as bright, but 480 hertz.
480, bro. 480. Wild.
Okay, that'd be good to have.
Wild.